I'm Robert Harris. This is Change Initiative Teacher Shortage. The United Nations, in their Outlook on the Global Agenda in 2015, ranked deepening income inequality as the number one issue facing our world. Historically and justified by research from the United Nations, the top solutions to income inequality contain improved education. Our current reality is income inequality, teacher shortage, and lower student achievement, forming a loop in which each phenomenon feeds and fosters the other. In looking at the research, teacher shortage areas in the nation from 1990 through 2017 from the U.S. Department of Education lists a number of areas that are short of teachers. In looking at state of Michigan, we see a number of areas that are short of teachers. Most recently and commonly, we see areas such as special education, mathematics, occupational disciplines, and world languages as being areas with longitudinal teacher shortage. Continuing with the research, documented description of, quoting the author, failure to ensure that the nation's classrooms, especially those in disadvantaged schools, are all staffed with qualified teachers is one of the most important problems in contemporary American education. Adding on to that, and perhaps most tragically, looking at the effect of teacher shortage in economically disadvantaged areas such as inner city regions and rural areas and others. We see a story from 2016 in the city of Detroit where a long-running literacy program was cut, leaving about, quoting the author, 100 first grade teachers who are having trouble learning how to read and write without daily one-on-one help from reading specialists. How do we change this? How do we improve? How do we grow? How do we get better? Two-pronged approach. First one, legislated redistribution of income. More on that later. Second of all, continued emphasis on proven instructional strategies. In an article from the University of Chicago, the Gini coefficient among rich countries is studied prior to taxation and after taxation. What the author finds, quoting the last two highlighted sentence, in other words, these countries achieve lower levels in income inequality through redistribution. The level of inequality is a political decision for a nation. Second part of the approach, got to change the income structure, got to continue to drive quality education in the classroom. Here's a ranking of 195 influences and effect sizes to student achievement. Things educators and educational leaders should be demanding in their environments. First two, teacher estimates of achievement, expectations. Quality educators and educational leaders have high expectations and drive students to that. Second, collective teacher efficacy. solving problems together, especially challenging in an environment where educators feel devalued. In conducting a cultural audit and analysis of leaders and professionals in education throughout the state, devaluation was a reoccurring trend. Harkening back to the situation in Detroit where the reading program was cut, if we look at response to intervention right here, effect size of 1.1, high ranking, the reality is we're losing those programs because of teacher shortage. Troubling. Where do we want to go? What's the hope? What's the vision? A positive feedback loop of income equality, increased achievement, and valuation of educators, quality teacher surplus. These things feeding on each other, driving each other, creating a healthy, positive feedback loop to create healthy, positive families, members of our society, individuals who are able to demand high quality care for the dignity of the human person and our common home.